Yo, what's up, everybody? This Nick the Quick Van Exel, and you rocking with Late Night Lake Show.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to a new episode of the Late Night Lake Show podcast powered by Prize Picks. It is your host, Ricky. I got my boy, Sean David, in the building to come talk a little shit, but more importantly, talk all about our Los Angeles Lakers. We are joining you guys today on December the 11th, year of our Lord 2023. Don't know if you heard, the Los Angeles Lakers won the in-season tournament. Depending on who you're talking to at what point in time you're talking to them, it might be a big deal, it might not be a big deal. Regardless, a banner is getting hung at the crypto.com arena to commemorate the first ever in-season tournament champion. So me and Sean are going to get into all about the Lakers' dominant, undefeated in-season tournament performance, go through kind of some of our reactions. The Lakers are hot. Make no mistake, the Los Angeles Lakers are hot. I don't care if this championship game does not count for the regular season record. This team is dangerous and they are healthy, and I can't wait to get into it with Sean. So before we do all that, make sure you subscribe to Late Night Lake Show wherever you get your hashtag good content. Hit that subscribe button right down there. If you're listening on the audio ways, make sure that you are subscribed. Leave us a review. We've gotten a few reviews in the last couple of weeks, so we appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Sean, my man. Actually, first of all, before I get to talking my shit, how are you doing, man? Welcome to the Late Night Lake Show podcast. How you feeling?
Thank you for having me on, and it's glad to be on. I'm happy to be on, and I'm happy the Lakers are champions. The Dodgers got Shohei, so at least two of my teams are relevant this year, so that's nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's an understatement saying that the Dodgers got Shohei. It looks like, I don't know, man. They're treating this like this is an investment property, like $700 million, Sean. And they are going to pay this man $2 million per year for a decade to play baseball in Los Angeles wearing that Dodger blue. If I wasn't so a Lakers fan and just an LA appreciator and lover, I'd hate every Dodgers fan on the planet right now. I know Giants fans are probably sick. I know Diamondbacks fans are probably cursing to the heavens right now, man. Padres fans, we need to check for them. Get on the phone with your nearest Padre fan and make sure that they are right. This is how you spend some money, goddammit. Anyways, that was a little baseball segment. I do love me some baseball, man. So, I mean, congratulations to you on your Dodgers. I know that feels phenomenal. It sounds like y'all not done too. You're trying to go get the overseas pitcher from Japan. You know anything about that?
I do not. I'm definitely more of a casual baseball fan, but good baseball player on my team. I'm happy. So I've heard good stuff about him.
Yeah, no. So I couldn't even pretend to butcher his name, but if the Dodgers are able to bring in the number one pitching, free agent on the market, and well, I guess the number one overall player who's also considered the number one pitcher on the open market in Shohei, just wrap up the season, man. Just wrap up the decade. Fucking wrap up the decade.
The whole decade.
Yeah, no, it's nasty. Honestly, what the Dodgers did is literally unprecedented, and all I could do is just sit back and be like, as a Cubs fan, it is what it is. The Cubs can't go bottles for bottle with the LA money, so it is what it is. Speaking of not going bottle for bottle, the good state of Indiana, they put up a fight. Sean, but at the end of the day, the glitz and glam of Hollywood, just like the 2000 championship over the Indiana Pacers, the Los Angeles Lakers defeat the Pacers 123-109 on Saturday night. LeBron James wins in-season tournament MVP, but that is to not go without saying how dominant Anthony Marshawn Davis Jr. is. I just want to say it again. Anthony Marshawn Davis Jr. was dominant in another game, and we coming onto this podcast yet another time telling y'all motherfuckers stop doubting Anthony Marshawn Davis Jr. In any event, I'm gonna chill. Let's feature Sean real quick, bro. The Lakers, they whooped the Pelicans' ass. And then they turned around and they almost 20-piece. It wasn't even close necessarily towards the end of the third, going into the fourth against the Pacers. What are your overall thoughts, reactions, just surprises to the in-season tournament and how locked in these Lakers were?
I think the very first thing I did after the game was over with, I texted Trevor Lane. I said, this isn't the first championship we're hanging up this year. That was the very first thing I did. And I said that back in September that, the Lakers, I had the same feeling about this team that I did the 2020 team, at least going in. not in terms of like personnel or whatever, but heading in that 2020 year, I said, okay, as long as we're healthy, we're winning this. AD's here. Braun is healthy now, finally coming off the groin injury his first year in LA. I said, we're winning it this year. I had the very same vibe this year coming into this year. 80 fully healthy. Braun praying the jumper came back, and last year was just a fluke, kind of like 2015. You're winning it all this year. And I mean, some stuff I've been wrong about, like Cam Rush, I was glaringly wrong about. I think a lot of Laker fans were,
Yeah.
but and that's what my initial vibe was. And AD and Braun is still the best duo in basketball, and there's only one other duo you can even say is even comparable, and that's Jokic and Murray. So yeah, I think the Lakers showed why I was so confident in them being my title pick back in September, and why I thought any notion that saying this team wasn't a contender after 10 games where you played with 8 dudes for 8 of them, right? Why I thought saying this team wasn't a contender was straight bullshit.
Everybody who is on the side of just wait for health, the wealth is not too far behind it. Yeah, so far you have proven to be correct. Jared Vanderbilt has come back in just the combination of him and Cam,
And
Sean,
Cam Reddish.
is nasty. That's 23-hour lockdown in Pelican Bay, right?
Yeah.
Like there's not a lot of breathing room when start like Tyrese Halliburton, like there was
And
not
he
much
still
he could
had
do
20
out
and
there.
11.
And he had by his bro, he had 5 assists in the first quarter tonight.
Yeah.
Right?
I
Clearly
think
he
he
was
finished with 16 assists on the game. Like, he's
like,
insane.
see, like, come on, like, dude, it was something beautiful to be because we went into this game. I think all Lakers fans went into this game understanding, like, look, Indiana is one of those one and done dangerous teams that they can beat anyone depending on how hot
Yeah.
they get. And Halliburton is he's about as confident as he's been in his career right now. He is playing at another level, and I think that to be honest, I was a little bit like, damn, I hope he's not about to come out here and try to do his best fake Magic Johnson on everybody in the first play of the game, he gets his delayed no look shot in the corner of the three. It was cash, and I was like, all right, but the Lakers settled down. They handled their business, and they are in season tournament champs. They popped bottles. They had champagne celebrations. There are beautiful Tiffany's inspired trophies.
Yep.
And that's the in-season tournament. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Success? How would you grade the overall experience of the first inaugural in-season tournament? I mean, it's not too bad that the Lakers end up champion, but overall, what would you make of it?
I think this is a home run going back to the baseball references. I think this is not just home run, it's a grand slam for all parties involved. I think one, obviously for us as Laker fans, great way to just show the rest of the NBA, hey, look, we're still better than everybody, right? So there's another, banner or whatever to throw at you. But I think from the NBA perspective, one is a big success from a couple of reasons. One, the players really cared about it, not just LeBron, not just AD, but Halliburton talked about it a ton, how much he cared about it, and there was a ton of other players, big name players around the league that said they want this. I mean, I know Warrior fans are going to want to forget this, but Draymond and Chris Paul said we're going to win the whole thing back a couple months ago or whatever, right? So the fact that the players really cared about it is massive because since the players cared about it, we got the most meaningful basketball this early in the season in a really long time where
Right.
I'm watching random games on a November night that I probably wouldn't have watched until like February the past few years, just being honest. Like, I'm not watching a Pacers Heat game. And those are just the first 2 teams that popped in my head for some reason. I'm not watching a Pacers Heat game in November, right? I'm in February, March, try to feel some teams that, okay, sure, I'm more
Sure.
likely to
Yeah.
at least. But I thought the in-season tournament was a great success. And just in terms of like how it looks too, this is another reason why. I don't know if we're going to get to it, but the league, for sure, they did. First off, they definitely pressed down and said, no, we're hanging a banner because one, the Lakers, your most popular franchise, is the winner. That's a great look for the league. 2, LeBron James, your most popular player since MJ or Kobe, won the MVP. So now future teams and future players are going to be playing maybe that much harder to try to top the Lakers or try to get the same amount of in-season tournament MVPs as LeBron. And that's all part of the reason why they're also asking the Lakers to hang up the banner, because it's the Lakers. Or if it had been maybe a couple other your bigger teams, the Knicks, etc., would have been the same way. But like it was a massive success, in my opinion, for the NBA.
Yeah, hey man, sometimes Adam gotta flex a little, bro. Adam has been a very kind and gracious commissioner in the league. Everybody would say the opposite of David Stern, rest in peace. But I think there was reports that said that the Lakers had no intention on hanging a banner if they were to win it. You got folks digging up old clips of Kobe talking about we don't hang anything but banners, and that is kind
Quite
of what
ironic.
Lakers
Those tweets
fans.
are coming from a fan base that's never experienced a conference finals win. But I'm sorry. Please continue.
At the end of the day, this is another piece of hardware that is going to El Segundo, excuse me. It's going in a cabinet. It's next to a whole bunch of other pieces of hardware, right? And sorry, y'all. Yes, to Lakers fans, it's going to be less important than a championship. Want to know why? Because there is a goddamn war that's full of them. Clippers fans, y'all would be begging for one of those. You would hang the banner. It would go right in between.
It'll be a regular
that
banner too.
Memorial. Right. It'd be full size. You hang a new one every in-season tournament championship you
Get
win.
a whole parade
God
in
damn it.
Inglewood and everything.
You can't knock what the Lakers accomplish if you live a life where you have not seen with your own eyes, in your own brain, in your own body, your team go to an NBA Finals. You haven't seen it. And if you haven't seen it, why the fuck do you care if the Lakers hang an add-on banner? You can't use that material, man. And guess what?
Add-on
You can't
banner
use
is
Kobe
crazy.
material either because he's not yours. He not. Kobe's a Laker. You can't use Kobe's quotes against the Lakers. That's kind of dumb as shit. Anywho's, I'm sorry, Clippers fans, they just never cease to.
Add-on banner is kind of insane.
Well, I mean,
you're not wrong.
They said we're just gonna put one up there and then just like
It's gonna
do it
be
like a
distinctly-
Letterman jacket.
yeah.
Just keep adding shit onto it. And it's like, all right, that's fine. I wonder
That's
if it's
fine.
gonna go on the same side as all the other banners. Maybe not. They'll
Could
probably
put on
put
the
it
opposite side of
somewhere else
crypto.
too. Right? Again,
Put
it
in
would
the
be the
back corner
size
where
of
nobody can see
midcourt.
it.
If it was any other if it was the Clippers, it would be the size of midcourt. Steve
Yeah.
Ballmer would have fucking the Bee Gees and Maroon 5 out at halftime for a performance. Anyways, man, Anthony Davis, I mean, I alluded to it a little bit earlier. 41, 20, and 4 blocks.
And
Now,
5 assists. Respect his
and 5 assists. Thank you for bringing that up. Very muy importante, right? I don't want to focus on kind of like the ups and downs, the ebb and flows of Anthony Davis' game. I think it's just nice when you see some of these outbursts on the main stage that just reassures you that, by not freaking the hell out every single night, that Anthony Davis does not give you 35 points. You stay the course, because you saw him walking into the arena, walking past Miles Turner, that he wasn't fucking around. He told Christian Wood, as Christian Wood told reporters, that he was treating it like game 7. Okay. All right.
AD.
That works. That works for me if this is what your output is. So, at the end of the day, man, Anthony Davis is what he is as a player. You're not going to get 30 points a night every night out of him, but what you are going to get is elite defense every single night, and the ability to rise to the occasion and, be always dominant when he needs to be. Your thoughts on Anthony Davis, his in-season tournament championship performance, and just your overall stance on just how you try to evaluate him as a player from night to night?
I'll start with the last question, work my way backwards. I think first, and I've said this a ton recently, I think Anthony Davis, I thought once it was LeBron, and I think Anthony Davis has taken the trophy of being the most unfairly criticized player in the NBA, bar none. Because the expectation for Anthony Davis every single night is to average 30 points, 12 rebounds, and go have 4 blocks and be the best defensive player on the planet. And we call him glass man or whatever. Like for a year or two, it was, he's glass, when he played more minutes and more games than Kawhi, KD, Paul, or all these other superstars that never get called any of this stuff. And you have every other day, Stephen A. Idiot on ESPN is talking about AD's inconsistencies or whatever. Like here's the thing with AD being inconsistent. I've never had a problem with AD being consistent, or like having a bad game. My problem is you can't have a bad game and only take 10 shots. That's been my only problem with his bad games. So you have a bad game and go 6 for 20. That is more than allowed, in my opinion. You
Right.
are a human being. So at the end of the day, like you're gonna have an off night. What can't happen is, like I said, the 6 for 10s or whatever. I think ESPN spent literally 30 minutes after the Pelicans game berating AD when I'm like, Braun scored 35. He had 16 and damn near 20, still had 3-4 blocks, and we won by 40. We don't need AD to score 30 every single night. And his inconsistencies, which got called out a lot last year, ultimately led up to him averaging 25 points, 12 rebounds, and like 3 blocks, and was one of the big reasons why they went to the Western Conference Finals. If that's inconsistent, I will take that inconsistent. So it's bogus. It's BS to me, man.
I often try to be the defense for Anthony Davis, mostly because I don't think a lot of people really try to appreciate defense. You
The
know,
fact that he's the best defensive player on the planet.
folks don't
Get out
care,
of here
man.
with the Rudy Gobert BS. It's Anthony
It,
Davis.
that's what I'm saying, man. And like I'm one to also take knocks at biohazard Gobert, but at the end of the day, defense being the best defensive player is not the prettiest thing in the world, right? Your Tony Allen's, your Marcus Smart's, your Anthony Davis's. Apparently, like this is just to the normal, I don't want to call folks casual, but I guess to the casual NBA fan, defense is not nearly as appreciated as someone who can knock down a three at a 35% clip or above, right? But
Right.
Anthony Davis, clearly, man, this is what you invest in as a franchise player, right? Like, go look, there's still a different level that Anthony Davis reaches. There's a reason. There's a reason, Sean, why he's a top 575 player, or excuse me, a top 75 player of all time. We didn't vote on that. It wasn't a vote of Lakers fans, right? This is the National Basketball Association. And I just am very happy for AD that he let it shine. It's not the largest stage in the world, right? We got more of those coming up here in May and June, but the boy did what he needed to do. And I think you hit the nail on the head in the beginning, man. He took 24 shots. He took 24 shots in that championship game. So that's what we need more of. AD 24, LeBron 21. I think most Lakers fans can go to sleep happy with those volumes of scoring. Yeah.
Wait, really quick. I want to ask you a question. So AD, then this goes on to the inconsistency thing, and this goes on to the scoring thing and the lack of appreciation for defense. You kind of hinted at.
Yep.
AD averaged in the playoffs last year 27 and 14 in the conference finals against Denver, right? In the first 2 rounds, he didn't average, the highest amount was 21 and a half. You and me would both say AD played way better in the first 2 series than he did against Denver, right?
Right.
He's a game wrecker. He single-handed with his defense won the Lakers, and a bunch of other stuff obviously impacted it, but his defense was probably the biggest reason why the Lakers won 2 playoff series. Like, he just wrecked game plans, and he does that consistently. So, again,
how quick we forget that Warrior series when AD was get those switches out on Steph, and it wasn't no you caught on an island situation. Lakers fans felt good about getting they big switched out on there to one of the greatest ball handlers, shooter, scorers in this game's ever seen. That means something, man, and that shit just don't go away from game to game. So Anthony Marshawn Davis, tip of the cap to you. Any problem with LeBron getting MVP over AD?
No, if it was a single game thing, then yeah, but they made it pretty clear, in my opinion, that they were looking at the totality of the in-season tournament, and I thought LeBron was the best player in the tournament. So, I mean, the best player on the team that won, I'd have a problem with it personally.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
And it's just good for the league. They can name the trophy after LeBron, and like I said earlier, now everybody's going to want to go after it now. So, just makes sense business-wise too.
The Late Night Lake Show podcast is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best legal way to play daily fantasy player props in states like California, New York, Texas, and more. You pick 2 to 5 players and an over-under on their projections, and you can win up to 10 times on any entry. The best part is you can mix players from different sports. You could take the over on LeBron combined with the under on Mahomes in the same entry. Prize Picks is the easiest way to play daily fantasy because it's just you versus the projected numbers. Just use our promo code LNLS, and any deposit you make can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. So go support the brand and go win you some money. It's the best of both worlds. Again, use our promo code LNLS.
Speaking of everyone wanting to go after it, they started interviewing all the Lakers players, talking about what they're going to do with the 500. Shout out Max Christie. He said he's going to save it. He's going to
buy a couple pieces of clothes. I know a lie when I see one.
Max got some pretty prestigious parents. They've been very successful in their life. So I don't know if Max is really thirsty for much, a Roth 401k. I don't know. That man can take his family out to Chick-fil-A. That's the kind of guy Max seems like right now, bro.
I'll spend $100 on Chick-fil-A. You guys,
Doug, did you see there was a report that came out the next day, like a Vegas local report that said some guy got stood up by an escort that took all of his prize money, and then folks immediately started tagging Lakers players like, where the hell is Jalen Hood-Shafino? Where's all the Lakers? Even obviously they didn't get their money that quick, but it does lead me to my question. 500K is dropped into your bank account. What is your smart and then dumb purchase that you're making, Sean?
My smart purchase is like buying a luxurious house, maybe. I don't know if that's a smart purchase, but I would consider it a smart purchase. Just a new house that I own. And then you said, wait, what was the second one? Like
a dumb purchase, something that just don't make no sense, but you just gonna do it anyway.
I don't even know, because I almost said car, but I'm like, I'm not even I'd rather have a better house than a nicer car.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't really know if
an elevator in your shit would be the dumb purchase.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, some stupid shit like that. I don't know, like that's just so lazy. That's not even stupid. That's lazy. I don't know, like I'll probably add. Ooh, actually, this is even stupid, and I don't know if this has been made yet, but like me and my closest friends, we had like this idea of having like an indoor training facility, and what the facility is, you have like one part of it is like where you can do, like, one of my best friends do like a football coach, wherever you have like some football stuff, you can do some drills or whatever. And then I'm a coach, basketball coach, so you have a whole gym in there, the court and everything. And then third part of the facility is probably upstairs or separate. You have a whole decked out podcast studio. So
yep. That's the vision right there.
Swap that out. So that's the smart purchase, I guess, and the house with the decked out stupid shit is gonna be my
right. There we go. The smart house that's probably smarter than both of us when you get finished with it. I love it. No, man, I've had similar thoughts, and that's hilarious that you had thought of that too. Yeah, my smart purchase would probably definitely have to be some type of sports rec fitness complex, right? I think that's kind of the vision. I'm around a lot of like industrial, like trucking places out here, and it's just like big ass warehouses, and they keep building them, and I'm like, damn, that'd be pretty cold of a field house for sports. I could get a couple levels in there and stuff. But let me hit the lottery. It's about to be a bunch of
all I need is like 3-4 levels.
Right. Yeah. You know how it is. Throw a couple baseball fields in the back, a couple driving golf simulators, everybody having fun. Maybe a playground for the little kids to come and play at. Got to include everybody. But yeah, definitely it's some of the sports complex. But no, I'm definitely getting a stupid ass car. I'm gonna let you know right now. And I don't even know which ones. I don't think it'll be.
Don't even know which one. Doesn't matter.
No, it not really. It just had to be wide body. Probably electric at this point, but they ain't
Yeah,
making, Escalade got the electric out yet. That's the dumb shit that I'd be into. Like
there you
a
go. Just completely deck out
family
your car.
Mercedes. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Cause I'm too player for a minivan, but the family got a lot of shit to move. So just give me the biggest tank missile on the plane. Do you see the Tesla truck, bro?
I think I have. That thing
Yeah.
is huge.
Yeah, give me a couple of them military vehicles out front, like Dobermans. So
Yeah,
I'll do that
that's lit.
in any event.
That's lit.
Um, switching back gears, our Lakers are now moving back into the regular season. They got a handful of games now, and I can't believe Christmas is already 2 weeks away,
Two
right?
weeks
It's
away.
7 games between now and Christmas, and there's some evaluations that we could do, right? The Lakers are, like we said, getting healthy. Report came out by Shams Charania today, yesterday, by the time you guys are listening to this, that Gabe Vincent is targeting that December, what was that, 18th date against the New York Knicks at home as a possible return. That would be lovely. And I guess I want to start right there, Sean. The Lakers look like they're starting to click on every angle. The guards rotation definitely would be impacted with the return of Gabe. How do you see that shaking out? Obviously, there's going to be some ramp up time, like Darvin's doing with Vando right now. He's not going to just throw him out there and give him 35 minutes, I think. But how do you see this rotation, playing out once Gabe's back up and running?
I think that for now they just lean into the depth and do something that isn't really seen a ton in the NBA unless I mean you just have a bunch of quality players, which Lakers do have. I think you just rock out an 11-man rotation, right? And I think by doing this, you allow LeBron to kind of ease his minutes back and it gain some in-season low management, if you will, while not missing any games. Hopefully, knock on wood there, right? But
Mhm.
you're allowed to ease LeBron minutes back. And I think Gabe's going to play. Even if you think Gabe Ince is the worst player ever, they just signed him and he's on an $11 million contract. So he's going to play.
Right.
But Gabe, D'Lo, Austin, call me biased. I still think Max has a place in the rotation. Cam Reddish, Braun, Vando, Rui, AD, Jackson. That's only 10. Did I miss somebody?
You say Christian?
I did not say Christian.
Well, Christian's in I mean, I don't think this is a doghouse, but Christian's been downgraded to DNP CDs back-to-back games. What do that's something I think Ham's clearly
Torian Prince.
making
That's what I
some
missed.
trims. Oh, you missed TP? Okay, I bet.
That's what I missed. Okay,
Um,
so there's 11.
so yeah, I
Or
mean, Torian Print continues to rack up minutes. Is does TP maybe come and tick down? You got to let Max breathe a little bit. The only thing why I think he's probably the first on the chopping block is because he's the youngest, and Ham clearly has his boy Cam at the top of his wish list. So
yeah, I think this team right now doesn't have a off-ball screen chaser role defensively, and
mm,
Max is your best one at that. So if you're facing a Golden State team, which I don't think you face them in this 7-game stretch, but when you get ready for Golden State, when you face Sacramento again, eventually, that's right up Max Christie's wheelhouse. Go guard Klay Thompson. Go guard Kevin Huerter. Go guard these guys that are just gonna run off a million screens off ball. There you go, Max. Right in a series against Phoenix. Now that everybody's healthy, I don't know if Max Christie really needs to play a ton. Right? I thought he was fine in these past few games they did play in, but who knows if you
right.
really need him in that series. So I think you're probably right. I think all things considered, they'll probably just strict it down to 10-man rotation, throw Gabe in there, basically just take Max's minutes. I want to say Max played 19 minutes against Indiana. So there you
Mm.
go, right there. And rock it out. And Max will still have a chance. Christian Wood's eventually going to get another shot. I don't know when, but just how the course of an 82-game season goes. Like, we went through the same thing with Lonnie last year, honestly, where Lonnie started off hot. His was more due to injury, got hurt. Lakers made all those trades, gets dropped down, doesn't even play. And then obviously we know how the story ends where he has that great game 4 against Golden State. So Christian Wood's got to get another opportunity. So just stay ready, honestly. You got depth.
What are you liking from Jackson Hayes, though? I mean, he cracks me up, man. I watch Jackson and I'm like, this is a 7-foot 8th grader, like just with as far as his
He's a
energy. Yeah,
he's
and
a
I mean
big
that
kid.
respectfully, bro. He is a
Yeah.
big kid out there playing basketball. And it makes for a lot of exciting highlights, and then it makes for a lot of fouls at the end of the
Yeah.
day. Jackson, he's not afraid to spend the fouls that he's giving at the beginning of the game. What are you seeing just kind of with Darvin's decision making between running more Jackson Hayes minutes out there, especially with Anthony Davis versus Christian, who he started with?
I think if the Lakers are making this schematic shift, which I've been calling for essentially since I want to say maybe the third game of the year, which is to hedge more and to switch more, which they've been way better at this year. This isn't a drop coverage team. Last year's team was. This year's team has been way better at switching and hedging than drop. If that's the case, okay, Jackson 8, that's right up his wheelhouse, right? Where
Mhm.
he has the agility and the athleticism to contain out of the perimeter or 7 seconds on the shot clock. As long as you give him some help, he can guard out on the perimeter against some, quicker wings or even a guard or two, right? Whereas that's probably not a Christian Wood's wheelhouse, right? And
Right.
Christian Wood hasn't done himself any favors because he hasn't hit a damn three, it feels like, in forever. So I think recently it's made sense, especially against Phoenix and against New Orleans and Indiana. So basically, these last three in-season tournament games where they've said, nope, we're basically, unless your name is Anthony Davis, you're switching or you're hedging for the most part. AD, your AD, go do whatever. You can switch, you can drop, etc. But Jackson, no, you're out there to be lengthy, be agile, and quick. That's just something that Christian Wood hasn't been. But like I said, Christian Wood's going to get another opportunity.
He is. He is. I think, Christian came over here last minute a little bit, right? He was the bonus add on to the roster. And, Lakers fans, the Lakers knew they needed another big. And I think what encourages me the most is just how engaged he is on the sidelines. I think LeBron told him, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think LeBron told him after his first DNP, take it personal, stay hungry, stay locked in, but this is how you build kind of that callus for when your number gets called again to be able to respond and be your best self. So Christian Wood has looked like nothing but the best teammate at the end of the day. I think, it's hard to be upset when you're about to have $500,000 in your pocket, but I think as the season progresses, hopefully we'll start to get a little bit of that the Christian rotation again. Like you said, he hasn't necessarily, just shitted on himself out there. But if you're not hitting threes, brother, and you're not the slightest of foot on defense, this is again, this is a defensive minded head coach, and he's gonna lean on his dogs. That's who he feels best about getting a stop. So and speaking of the dogs, we talked about them a little bit earlier. Jared Vanderbilt back. He back. What have you liked from
I'm so
Vandy? What
happy
have you
Vando's back.
seen? What have you seen from our man out there?
That when he's healthy, he's a top 10 perimeter defender in the league. And I
Mm,
think we knew that. I think the biggest flaw in his game has been my only criticism of Vando is I hate how he navigates screens on ball. But if you're switching and hedging more, it negates that. He doesn't have to navigate screens anymore, right? So you're basically
right.
by leaning into your strengths, not only leaning into your strengths more as a team, you're leaning into or you're negating the biggest flaw in your best perimeter defender's game, right? So Vando and Cam, I like the idea of having one come off the bench. And right now it's been Vando because of, reacclimating him after the injury. But like Devin Booker, he gets guarded by Cam Reddish for 30 minutes or whatever, or KD, it doesn't matter. You can pick one. And wow, man, thank God. Cam's out of the game. I have a break now. I get to go against Torian Prince. Nah, fam.
Wrong.
You get Jared Vanderbilt. You get probably the better defender out of the two for
Right.
these next 20 minutes of the game. So I think heading into the playoffs, you're facing, I think a better example is like Sacramento, who's only really one perimeter star at least. Depending on how you feel about Sabonis, I think he's a fraud come playoff time, but
Ooh.
unnecessary king slander. But De'Aaron Fox, okay, cool. Cam Reddish, you got him for 20 minutes. Fox plays 40 minutes. Here, Cam, go get him for 20. Oh, man, thank God. Cam Reddish is out here. Austin's guarding me? Great. Nah, because it's Jared Vanderbilt guarding you for the next 20 minutes of this game. So I think
Right.
that gives you like this cheat code defensively. And then you still have AD behind you. it's a cheat code defensively. As long as you just don't get blitz from three, it's a cheat code. Like this defense, when healthy, I think is the best defense in the NBA.
I mean, we talked about it. The best defensive big on the planet, in
Yep.
our opinion, in
Not
our
even
humble
close.
opinion, right? And then you got probably one of your best defensive attack dogs back. Anthony Davis earlier on this season before Cam, started getting his sea legs under him and gaining his confidence and letting that defensive prowess shine. It was a lot of folks losing their man and praying Anthony Davis can wipe
Save them.
away mistakes. And we all know what that would lead to: a whole bunch of offensive rebounds. I think we were all getting on the verge of contemplating some nasty thoughts if the Lakers were going to continue the trend of giving up the offensive boards like that. But we are starting to see now, with the pieces back in place, order is slowly being restored. Lakers defensive ratings just continue to shoot up the chart. And it don't even matter because Jared's not even fully acclimated. We know how this thing can get, how ugly in a good way this defense can get when everybody's healthy and locked in. We had I said it earlier that I wasn't ready to say these are flashes of 2020 defense. But those last two games, man, the Pelicans game and the Pacers game, maybe it was because there was more on the line. Maybe if this was a non-in-season tournament game at this point in the year, we wouldn't see this intensity. But the
Yeah.
Lakers showed us what they look like, a little glimpse of what they look like when they turn all the burners on. And man, that's a scary sight, Sean, is it not?
It is definitely a scary thought. I just wanted to bring up two quick stats for you, right? This
Mhm.
is very easily find NBA.com tracking data. So the best player on the team in terms of opponent field goal percentage is Jared Vanderbilt, right? Number one on the team. The top two of your top three guys in terms of opponent turnovers when they're guarding them in per 100 possessions. Number one, Jared Vanderbilt at 17.4, which is nuts. And then number three is Cam Reddish at 15.6. Number two is actually Gabe Vincent. So Gabe is really active as well.
Shout
So
out, Gabe.
we haven't even seen Gabe play yet or in a while, right? So
Right.
Vando's back. You have, Cam Reddish has been balling, especially in terms, I think Cam's probably easier to score on, but I think Cam he's way more of a defensive playmaker defensively. What I mean by that is he's going to get more steals. He's going to rack up more deflections and stuff like that, which is not equally valuable to what Vando does, because I think Vando is just a game wrecker from the perimeter, which is why I lean Vando defensively. But if it's not completely equal to what Vando does, it's pretty damn close, man. It's so valuable, and Gabe Vincent also contributes to that a ton. So yeah, man, like this team is really, really good, and defensively led by those two on the perimeter. Gabe's a good defender. AD is the best rim protector, and how many times do we have to say it? It's special how good this defense can be.
I like how you put that. You said he is a defensive playmaker. Write that down. We're putting that up on the Late Night Lake Show Studios front of the show quotes. That is smooth. Cam Reddish, and you see it in pieces like, not necessarily just picking up full court, but it's that Alvarado kind of mentality that, no, I'm going
Yeah.
for a steal. I'm going for an inbound steal right now, just to kind of steal another bucket, or at least put a little bit more pressure on them where they got to think about me a little more going up down the court. Jared will pick you up, right? He'll play D, right? But Jared likes playing a little bit straight up, right? I think Cam, like LeBron a little bit, is starting to see those opportunities for those calculated gambles, and
Yeah.
he's hitting. He is hitting at
Yeah.
a clip where it's not like, oh, damn it, Cam, like get your ass back. And unfortunately, right, like, hey, LeBron is playing out of his mind, right?
Yeah.
Earlier on in the year, there were a lot of moments where we were looking at LeBron kind of on defense, like, shit.
Oh man, was it the Phoenix game? I forget which game it was. It was really recent where Braun just like dialed it up to 100 defensively,
Mhm.
and it's so come playoff time, you have two elite perimeter defenders. You have Anthony Davis, who here's another stat for you. in terms of expected field goal percentage at the rim, when opponents are going at 80 at the rim, opposing players and teams obviously are shooting 11% worse
Yeah.
than expected at the rim. So you have, again, best rim protector, two dare I say elite perimeter defenders, and then LeBron come playoff time is an elite off-ball help guy, which what we saw against Phoenix. He's not a perimeter dude anymore, but off the ball, where he gets to be the best free safety on the planet,
Right.
like that's an elite playoff defense for you.
1000%, bro. Real quick, do you have any concerns about this team? We're getting, like I said, Gabe back. In about a week or so, we'll see all the pieces together. But we got a decent book sample size of what this defensive philosophy is. Are there any concerns? Right? Are there any holes that you think the Lakers will still need to fill once they're at full strength?
I have one concern, and this goes into one of my biggest criticisms of Darvin Ham as a coach. And that's just he's too stubborn. What I mean by that is like this team does a great job of, they want to send you to the paint a ton, right? Because why
Yep.
send you to the paint? Because we have Anthony Davis there, right? But there are moments where you'll see this team say, or like just give up the three, right? We want to protect the paint at all costs, which I get that philosophy, right? Like you want to protect the paint as much as possible, but this
Mhm.
team gives up way too many threes. And there are certain
Oh, it's
matchups where
not.
it's like, yeah, like you got to protect the 3-point line. Like that was a big key to the game against Indiana for me was you got to protect the 3-point line against this team. And I'm slowly after the end of the game, I'm getting a little bit more confidence about it. But like the Lakers, in terms of frequency of threes allowed, they're bottom 10. Like they give up a ton of threes. Like I said, they're top 10 in frequency at the rim, right? Which again, the
Mhm.
rim is the most valuable shot. The rim is the most valuable shot in basketball, right? But like I said, there's just certain games you're like, okay, I get it that we want to protect the rim and all. But nah, this team shoots 40% or whatever from three. We got to protect the three this game. And just the stubbornness that I think you see from Darvin sometimes with that particular thing is what
Yeah.
got Mike Budenholzer fired. Literally, Budenholzer's stubbornness cost him his job. And hopefully it doesn't cost the Lakers a championship because we saw some of the same stuff last year. Like last year, they were, again, bottom 10 in 3-point frequency defensively, top 10 in rim frequency, which is you rather be top 10 defensively at the rim, obviously. So that's
Right.
my biggest criticism of Darvin, and it blends into the defense as well.
I think it's a double whammy in that regard because the Lakers are, if they're not dead last, they're second to last in threes taken per game. And as much as I love me some points at the rim, if you are giving up the second most threes
Yeah.
and you are shooting the second least threes, these averages aren't always going to end up with a happy ending for the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
And that's just being realistic. So, I by philosophy, the Lakers want to funnel towards Anthony Davis. The hell are all these threes coming from then, right? So, it's a little, to your point, it's a little concerning, but let's hope that with Jared coming back, we'll see if Max can get woven into the rotation, especially for big matchups, right?
Yeah.
Run these boys off the line. You got the
Send them
dogs, you
to
got the,
80.
the horses to do it. Send them to Anthony Davis. Send them to 6 fouls of Jackson Hayes. You know what? I'm starting to embrace Jackson Hayes as a fouler, man. Growing up, there was
I
always
love
some
the
roster
character
spots
arc
for.
throughout the show. I love the
Yeah,
character
yeah,
arc.
yeah. I'm here for it. Actually, there were guys that would just be on NBA rosters just to eat up
Just a
Shaq
foul.
fouls.
Yep.
That's all, man. So shout out Scott Pollard. He besides having the little goatee joint down here, there wasn't much else going on, right?
I do want to say this, and this is something that's making me feel a little bit more optimistic about this team. Last year's team was really, really bad defensively in transition, right? I think we all know that. They were in terms of points per what is it? Hold on. Points added per 100 possessions in transition. They were the third worst transition defense in the league, right?
God damn.
Now, this is all per clean the glass. This year, they're 13th best. And in terms of like if off of a live rebound, so like LeBron misses a shot, first play that pops in my head. LeBron misses a shot, they get the rebound, they're pushing it off of a live rebound. They're now the 9th best at that in terms of converting back and being better in that regard. Where last year they were the 3rd worst. So that's super, super, super exciting to hear, because now in the playoffs, right, where, teams are going to tighten up the paint for you and you have to shoot tougher jumpers, you miss. Okay, cool. You don't have the 3rd worst transition defense getting back. You have a top 10 transition defense getting back, and you still have this elite half court defense. So that is something to be really, really encouraged about if you're a Laker fan.
There you go. Encouraged we are. Encouraged. We have no reason not to be encouraged right now, baby. This is a very encouraging time in Lakerland as we start to get closer and closer to Christmas. It's funny, man. It was you look at these games in the years past, and it's like, the in-season tournament has brought some extra juice to November and December basketball, because really it didn't really start kicking up until them Christmas games, right?
Yeah.
Everybody was kind of, that's the real start of the NBA season, to the casual fan. But the Lakers are 14-9. They are 5th in the West. They have the 2nd most wins in the West right now. They got 7 games between now and what I consider their biggest matchup to date of the season, a Christmas game matchup against the Boston Celtics. Sean, I promise you, that game means everything. I do not care if it's a regular season game. Like I know, like Laker Nation knows. You just close the doors, just shut everybody out. This is Boston, LA. I don't give a fuck what a Clipper fan, what a Rocket fan, what a Nugget fan, what a Warrior fan got to
Rockets
say.
get
That game,
unnecessary slander. I love it.
in any event, that game is a must-win game for Laker Nation, and it will be another great. You talk about signature wins throughout the season. The Lakers have had a couple over the Suns, although not fully healthy, where you're like, okay, that means something. Beat the Clippers, you're like, okay, that means something. I've been getting tired of getting smacked by the Clippers during the regular season. Now you got that Celtics Christmas game coming up. But before then, you got 7 games to play with. You got the Mavs, you got the Spurs a couple of times, you got the OKC Thunder, you got the Knicks, you got the T-Wolves, and you got the Bulls. The T-Wolves are first in the Western Conference. Obviously, that's going to be a game circled on the calendar. Sean, between now and then, the 14-9, the Lakers, how is your outlook on those next 7 games? Where do you see them? How do you see them performing? Is this a springboard into a nice little winning streak for them?
I hope so, man. And I do feel really, really good about these first 5. Those 2 before Boston are really, really brutal. I'm not going to lie. I think I'm just going to call it my shot here. I think the Lakers win 5 straight and technically go on a 9-game winning streak. I think they beat Dallas, likely without Kyrie. They better smack San Antonio back-to-back. Like, that's a non-negotiable. You got to win those.
Right.
Same with Chicago. You got to find a way to win that game. And then I just think they're better than New York, right? So I think there's my justification for those 5 straight.
Mitchell Robinson's out for, I think, 8 weeks with
well, there you go.
Issue, so
yeah.
Anthony Davis.
Minnesota, it sucks a lot that's a back to the second I have a back-to-back.
Right.
Because that's the big test for me. I think I know how we match up with Denver. We haven't seen Minnesota yet, right? Or at least like Minnesota playing this well. This is the same team from last year. We matched up with them in the play-in tournament and a couple of games before that. But like they're just playing great basketball right now. They're the best defensive basketball. Actually, they're the best half-court defensive basketball. The Lakers are the second best half-court defense in basketball. So that's going to be just a pure basketball enjoyer type of game. I'm here for it. OKC, man, is probably the toughest team to guard, in my opinion, not named Denver. They just have so many different ways to hit you with stuff. Like SGA is one of the most efficient players on the planet. Chet is a freak, and J-Dub is awesome. And then they just have all these shooters. All 3 of those dudes can shoot. Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace, the idiot in number 3. Lou Dort can hit a 3 or 2 every now and then. Like they just got a bunch of shooters. They're really well coached. So you give me 5-2 heading into Boston, I'll be just fine with that. 5-2.
That's facts. Yeah, get us 19 wins heading into Boston with a nice little lucky 20 home game too for the Lakers. So hopefully we can keep that Christmas spirit going strong on Monday, December 25th. I completely agree, man. I think must wins for me. Non-negotiables that Chicago game. The
Yep.
United Center. Backyard. We gotta. I can't let Bulls fans get an edge. They can't. They can't. Again, another fan base that has something to say about Lakers hanging a banner. It's like, do you know the cobwebs that are up there from the 90s? No one's being paid to dust those off, right? That costs way too much money. Jerry Reinsdorf ain't cutting the check. He looking to move the White Sox possibly to Nashville, Tennessee. He don't care. He don't care.
Ew.
So don't hate on the Lakers and the organization just because you guys were literally in diapers the last time a team you cared about that played basketball won a championship. I get it. Michael
Preach.
Jordan, legend forever. I just bought some
Bron's the
LeBron. So,
GOAT.
yeah, I just bought some LeBron. So there you go. So in any event, you got to pick up that Bulls game. I think, Mitchell Robinson going down that Knicks game, who, the Knicks are always fun to play. It's not in the Garden, which would be a little bit more fun. LeBron would try to go Pollo Loco on their ass. But that's a
LeBron's going
big,
for 40,000 in Garden.
always, man. And then the first game back, right? So by the time everyone's hearing this is Luka Magic. Luka's on a back-to-back. Did they win tonight? How'd Luka do this
I hope
evening?
not.
Let's check it out.
It's relatively close, which is a good thing. The fact that Luka's playing still in the fourth quarter is important.
They're up 10 on the Memphis. Okay.
Luka's played 39 minutes. That's exactly what I want to hear. Okay, if you lose to this team and Dante Exum is starting, we're going to have a conversation.
Hey, but shout out Dante Exum, man. How about not being sworn off for dead? Had that man
That's
from
such a name.
Australia, from down under. Lakers fans had a soft spot for him because he talked about how much of a Kobe disciple he was, how much he loved Kobe and everything like that. He didn't bring a jump shot with him from Australia, but he's worked his way back into the league. Shout out to him, but completely agree.
Bro,
Dante Exum should not be on a team that beats the Lakers in the regular season.
Bro, Jaren Jackson Jr. has 37 points.
Well,
now he's hit 6 threes, but still. That's absurd. Yeah, that team needs Ja back bad. Shout out D Rose, but yeah, they have 6 wins on the season. Ja will be back. Well, is eligible to come back a week from today. By the time you guys are hearing that was quick. Yeah. He's back before Christmas, so right. Weird.
We'll get some Ja content coming up here soon. Hopefully he's back on the beaten path because he is.
Hopefully he's staying off IG Live.
He's an elite talent, man. Put the Migos down, put the Lobos down. I know it tastes so good, and it just makes you feel like Superman. But bro, just put the phone down when you sip.
Don't mix. Don't mix.
Julio. Well, yeah, that's a fun time too. But yeah, don't be in public. Don't be in public with your.
The only problem with it is that he was in public about it. That was the only bad thing.
That's it, man. That's it. Ja, we're rooting for you, buddy. But more importantly, we're rooting for the Lakers and another moment in Lakers history that whether folks like it or not, they're going to have to answer the question correctly on Jeopardy. Who won the 2023 inaugural in-season tournament? And the answer will be, who are the Los Angeles Lakers? And Aaron Rodgers will say correct for 5,000 points. Sean, move on to the next category, foods that start with the letter K. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to watch your Jeopardy debut in 15 years. But yeah, man, the Lakers are locked in. They are ascending. LeBron James is clearly showing y'all he not trying to slow down any time soon. If anything, Bronny is inspiring him to reach greater heights. So shout out to Bronny. Shout out to Bronny.
He's back. What'd you say?
Did you catch any of his game?
I did not. I actually do mean to go back and watch it, but I did see the chase down block. That's literally all I've seen on my feed, I feel like. But that's awesome. That's really, really cool to see Bronny back out there playing, even though they lost to Long Beach. We're going to ignore that. But yeah, it's super, super exciting to see Bronny back out there playing. And I'm rooting for USC to start getting some wins, man, because I think seeing Bronny out there is super, super fun. So I don't even think I have a college basketball team, really. I guess the Bearcats for affiliation purposes, but
There you go.
There we go. USC, let's go, man. What are was the record? 7-4, 5-4. Sheesh.
They played that many games already. I see. That just goes to show how much I don't pay attention to college hoops. Yeah, shout out Bronny, shout out USC. Hopefully they can bring some glory back to that organization. I know there are a lot of diehard USC fans out there in Southern California.
I
So
can
shout out to you, man.
I can never picture being a diehard USC. Like UCLA is right there. With all due respect, UCLA is sitting right there.
It's closer. See, I don't know shit. I don't know shit about USC, UCLA.
USC's in Pasadena. Where is UCLA? Like what part? I know USC is in Pasadena.
I know, man. I could get you to Wrigley Field. I could get you to Soldier Field. Yeah, I could get you to any place in Chicago you need to be. That's a sports place. But yeah, we'll say, hopefully the rumblings came out last note. The rumblings came out again today. The what ifs. What if Bronny's there? Will anybody else try to scoop him up to try to lure LeBron? Shut your dumbasses up. Shut up. LeBron and Bronny are going probably exactly where LeBron and Bronny want to go. I know that truth is a little stingy. I know you guys don't like that players have control over things, but this is reality. If Eli Manning can dictate not going to the Chargers and forcing his way to the Giants, I think it's okay if Bronny says, I'm not going to Portland to play basketball. I'm going to go to the Lakers with I don't know. Because they can pick swap with the Pelicans. Is it up to the Pelicans to punt?
It's up to the Pelicans.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably throwing 2 middle fingers up. But, we'll see. Should be fun. Should be interesting. A nice GTA side mission to follow. So you going to play GTA when it drops too?
Hell yeah.
Okay. What? Yeah. We're going to have to get on some heists together, man.
How has GTA not had Chicago on it yet? Like just the map.
Yeah. A winter map would be pretty nasty.
That'd be tough.
You're on to something, man. But I'm not really trying to see them do a whole high speed drive-by chase past my house. It's a little too close to home. Keep it out on the West Coast where that shit people I guess watch high speed chases like regular television out west,
television.
Shout out to them.
Switch to channel 14 and hey, we have another high speed chase for you. There we go. Let me grab my beer.
Exactly, man. So all right, yeah, we'll have to get after it on GTA when it comes out, man. But Sean, I appreciate you rocking with me, man. It's almost about an hour strong. We went first time Late Night Lake Show. Hopefully this is not your last time, man. Thank you again for stopping by.
Yes, sir, bro. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Let the people know where they can find you and all your great stuff.
You guys can follow me on X. It feels so weird calling it that now, but you can follow me on X at Sean_DAVI. I promise you it's not any adult content there. Like that is not an app where you watch it. No, it's not that. It's Twitter. Elon's dumbass just renamed it. But X at Sean_DAVI, where you'll find film breakdowns, a bunch of X's and O stuff, largely related to the Lakers.
Do that. Make sure you follow Sean. He's one of my favorite follows on social media. Really great insights. Really, really into the X's and O's shit. I said it last podcast. I don't try to play X's and O's on this pod. I bring on people that can do that, and Sean's going to be one of those folks that can come and talk that good shit with us going forward. So appreciate you, brother, as always, and appreciate y'all rocking with us on a new episode Late Night Lake Show podcast. Make sure you are subscribed wherever you get your hashtag good content. For Sean, it's Ricky. Late Night Lake Show. We are the champions. All right, let me stop. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.